birds fly over the rainbow, and little angels do too. We are here to celebrate and respect a wonderful life. Susie was the most beautiful and giving, kind soul I ever met. She had this warmth and nurturing about her that made everyone feel special. And that they were loved and that they belonged, like they were home. Because home, family, and friends meant everything to Susie. Suzanne Louise Harvey was born July 6, 1939, in Toronto, Canada, to Barry Stewart. 63. Talk to you later. Wow. To Barry Stewart Harvey and Gloria Myra Andrews Harvey. She was a beautiful, curly, raven-haired girl with the most amazing, mystical, hazel green eyes that you will ever see. She was so photogenic, like a little Shirley Temple wildflower. My mom wrote, our beautiful, beloved Sue wasn't always called Sue. Her birth name was Suzanne Louise, which became Susie Lou. She was our firstborn and our pride and joy. We displayed her around to all, like all new parents do, like our trophy. She was full of energy, and we needed eyes in the back of our heads. She was into everything. At 2 years old, like throwing a whole box of talcum powder all over herself and the bathroom, which is creative. Dropping my brother and sister-in-law's honeymoon videos in a bucket of water. The name of Hugh. She was a mischievous child. She was always busy, industrious. We used to take her fishing in our cute little red MG coupe. They were a car with a long front, and we could put her in a basket, not even secured, and just how it was at your feet, a wicker basket, no, and take her on fishing trips, and she absolutely loved those fishing trips. She used to go into northern Ontario fishing with us, and those were wonderful days. I taught her to cook a roast beef dinner over the phone when I was at work. She was 14 years old, and she did an amazing job, and it was delicious. She was so mature, I never had to worry about her, about anything. When she was 4, Greg was born, and she was very patient and tolerant with him. She spent a lot of time trying to quiet him down for me. When she was 7, Tina was born, and she thought she was Tina's little mama. I can believe that. She had a very happy childhood in Ontario. Susie was 9 years old when we moved to the States, and it took a while for her to adjust at that age. She fell in love, married, and had a son, Bart Jr., who will always be her pride and joy. She couldn't do enough for him. He gave her 4 beautiful little grandchildren who she idolized. Tatiana is the eldest, and they became best of friends, talking every day, enjoying nonstop fun and laughter. I can remember talking to Susie on the phone, and she'd say, I've got to go. Tatiana's texting me. Tatiana's calling me. And I'd be like, Susie, I haven't spoken to you for months. But Tatiana was walking home from school. So, I got to go. Tatiana. I thought that was beautiful, that they had that tradition of talking every day. And I remember Susie and young Bart would talk on the phone every day. It seemed there was some dialogue back and forth every day. Along with her son Bart, she had 4 beautiful little grandchildren, relationships that will last an eternity. She was the best grandmother I knew, putting all of them before herself, truly putting all of them before a selfless person. Tia, Maddie, Conrad, and Remy Louise were her new little pride and joys. I know they gave her so much life and joy and happiness and meaning in life. Her daughter-in-law, Rebecca, was a friend, which is so important, so loving and kind. Susie was so creative like her dad, Barry. She drew and painted incredible Disney characters all over Bart's bedroom, all over his bedroom walls. And we'd always have the cutest paintings on her walls, and she made one when she was 11 that she gave to Tammy that we brought here today. So a painting by Susie at 11. We all remember Bart Jr. had the best homemade Halloween costumes. From Starbright to Ninja Turtles, they were amazing, which I believe he still wears on occasion.
The Ninja Turtle ones, there's pictures of them out there.
It's all right, it's all right. It's all right. We're all here. She spent more time doing projects like baking and gardening, etc., from cutting down tree limbs alone, her amazing interior decorating. Her home was always so beautifully decorated. She had an awesome sense of style, a wonderful, funky, creative eye like her dad. Barry would say, "You've got it, kid," when it came to her artistic talents. I felt like Susie's homes were always these little warm, whimsical pixie lands that you just happened to fall into. They were just magic. She loved walking her beloved Buster down the trail and feeding the local horses with her grandchildren. Finally, she worked like two men, never stopping, so harder than two men. From cutting down limbs, gardening, interior decorating, on and on, it never ended. Bart Jr. mentioned to me that she used to have wonderful little tea parties with Tatiana, and how they would take the kayak to the island and have picnics and adventures. Priceless, precious moments that you have to have. He said she cooked turkey pies. She was the best cook. She used to teach Tatiana and Maddie how to cook. Cooking and making sure everyone was happy and well fed. That's what made Susie happy. Truly the most gracious and giving host. Bart Jr. loved how she would quote, "Just take a whole wall and make it the most beautiful collage for everyone to see, and remember the good times, smiling faces and family. All the amazing pictures of friends, family, learning, and enjoying life." And Bart has made beautiful collages like that here. Tatiana said, I love our memories that we share. And I'm sure the silly infectious giggles they share as well. Little Conrad, he mentioned to us, I loved her, I miss her, and she'll always ready to have fun, and I love her cooking. I know my children, Josh, Alex, and Jay, just adored Susie. Everybody adored Susie. She was like a little Pied Piper herself, just like a little pixie Pied Piper, and she was just full of joy and sunshine. Tina's son, Jude, said, I really liked how she made her home clean, really special, especially when Grampy would come over. There'd be no smoke, and it would be so clean. And so she was respectful of other people's needs, you know. I had a friend that only met Susie once in her life, once. And when she found out Susie passed, she said, I remember when you brought me to visit Susie, she gave me a sparkly sweater because I was cold. It was on the lake. She gave me a sparkly sweater because I was cold, and she said it looked pretty on me. Just random act of kindness, giving someone a sweater and saying, like, take it looks good on you. She's just such a sweet person. Another friend of mine who only just met Susie once said, so glad that they got to say goodbye, and it was a pleasure meeting her. She's a sweetie. Now this was an amazing thing that happened. On one of my last visits to Susie, it was October 14th, and I'd said to Susie, I bought her a dragonfly and put potpourri in it, and Tina bought flowers, just trying to warm up her room. And she said, I'm smelling my dragonfly, and I love the potpourri, and we're looking for foliage. And I said, a friend of mine always sends this magnificent, brilliant tree every year for 10 years. And we wouldn't have spoken forever, but I would just get a picture on my phone of this gorgeous, ablazed tree. And Susie said, well, I hadn't gotten it yet from my friend. And Susie said, well, you should take a picture for her. Well, I didn't. But the day Susie passed, a bunch of pictures of that tree came across my phone. My friend had no idea Susie had passed, you know?
But she knew that tree.
And Susie said, I know that tree in Manchester. I know that beautiful red tree. But the fact that Susie said I should send her a picture, and on the day Susie passed, hours later, beautiful photos came through. I think there's something cosmic magic to this world. There sure is. There's just something beyond what we know. Her spirit lives on inside of everyone that she knew and loved. One of the most beautiful condolences we received was from Matthew Rochford. It was really touching. Everybody's were touching, but something poignant about what Matthew said. I found it very comforting, and so did my mom. I can't exactly paraphrase it, but I believe it went that he had overheard a pastor or a priest or somebody condoling a family who had just had a child pass away. And the best way to rationalize it and be at peace was that the child was a perfect soul. And Matthew said that now Susie is a perfect soul. And that's why she was ready to go. And I thought that was so beautiful and heavy. My mother wrote, "She will be with us until eternity forever in our minds and hearts. Her beautifully enthusiastic spirit, smile, and giggle, and those gorgeous, captivating eyes will never be forgotten. We love you, Susie. Gone way too soon from our lives, but never forgotten. Susie, I wish I could dance with you one more time. I can see Susie dancing, her silly dance. Almost like Ellen on the soundtrack. A little bit. More rhythm. But I can see that dance. But no, she's a good dancer. Depends on the song. No, but I can see Susie dancing. And I can really see her dancing to John Cougar Mellencamp's Cherry Bomb.
That's right.
And that song just sparked life in her. And you know it took her back. It took her back to being like this. She just was in that moment, you know. I love that song. And some of the lines were, you know, grooving, we were dancing meant everything. We were young and we were improving. Laughing with our friends. Holding hands meant so much, baby. Outside the club Cherry Bomb, our hearts were really pumping. Say yeah. Susie, give Dad a big hug and a kiss from all of us. Birds fly over the rainbow, and so do little angels like Susie, too. Love you, Susie. Love you.